Looking in the mirror at your not white enough teeth, your not shiny enough hair, the pimple on your chin because it's that time of the month, the slight crook of your nose you know would only make you more beautiful if you had a few $1,000s to fix it. We are our own worst critics, that little voice in your head telling you you could never be as perfect as the girl whose breasts are pushed up in her cropped shirt, flawlessly accentuating her 25-inch waist with her non-cellulite ass peeking out of those tiny shorts. All the while forgetting that the beauty you may see doesn't always reflect a beautiful soul. She's so skinny, it's disgusting. Insulting and offensive words rattle off the tongue following the swallow of the pill of self-doubt and insecurity. Why are we so focused on making ourselves feel bigger but making others feel smaller, rather than focusing on bettering ourselves? Why are we so focused on the search for perfection that does not exist, instead of focusing on the fact that we were all created differently for a reason? Fingers down your throat because you ate those McDonald's fries drunk last night, slapped in the face by the hand of a potential eating disorder. Why even eat at all when just a few more inches off your thighs would create the perfect photo, the perfect opportunity to be placed atop the shoulders of that one guy from the party with the perfect abs? How could someone like him ever love my excess fat? Weight is just a number on a scale, but my God, does that number haunt you when all you see are girls in too small bikinis posting hot dogs or legs when you know your natural frame could never even afford you a thigh gap. Why are we so focused on the gaps of thighs rather than the gap we are creating between ourselves and our self-esteem? The swipe of the credit card, the want, not need mentality, the designer bag you only know would make you more popular with the other girls if you could afford it. The sea of Ray-Bans at every tailgate, the white high tops on every foot, the Lululemon leggings you just knew would make your ass look tighter. We make ourselves all look one and the same to blend in, to avoid any criticism for being unique. To avoid the gossip you only know would stir up if anyone knew your Tory Burch was actually a knockoff. Why are we so focused on forming ourselves into materialistic molds of those around us, rather than focusing on our assets and traits that make us stand out from all the rest? No one can ever be you, and that is worth more than any shiny new item on the display. Your phone vibrates, and his name on your screen makes you giddy inside, even though he's probably drunk, it's 2 a.m, and he told you he doesn't do the feelings thing. In the back of your mind, you know you are nothing to him but a body to fuck, but the want inside of you to be with someone overpowers you from realizing the reality of the situation. He loves me not. We pick at the flower petals of our heartstrings until we've taken so much of ourselves we are left crying in our beds, asking what we ever did to not be good enough for him, knowing that if he would just open his eyes to how amazing you are, he would surely only want to be with you. Why are we so critical of ourselves when a man doesn't see our self-worth? Why do we let a man's lack of feelings for us dictate how lovable we are? When our worth and love should be coming from ourselves, from our achievements, our friendships, that A on your final, the way you can light up a room with one joke. Just because a man doesn't see your beauty doesn't mean that you aren't beautiful. Stumbling in last night's clothes to your car at noon, you can't believe you just slept with the guy from the bar that you'd never even met before, all because of too much alcohol and too little inhibition. Your body count was just raised a number, and you feel disgusting and worthless. How could you give yourself up so easily? We live in a society where anyone, especially women, are tightly scrutinized, judged, and gossiped about due to their body count. The higher the number gets, you're told the less value you have to a man, the less likely you are to be truly loved, the less likely you are to be respected. Why are we so focused on the number of people someone has had sex with instead of realizing that the logistics of someone's private sex life never diminishes their value as a human being? Why are we so consumed by slut-shaming rather than empowering others to make decisions about their body on their own? Why do we focus on other people's regrets and mistakes, prodding at their weaknesses to make us feel stronger, instead of realizing that none of us are perfect ourselves? Sucking in your stomach and angling your body in just the right way, you can only hope that your photo is good enough to be double-tapped on the face of all of your followers' phone screens. Maybe with the right filter, an editing app, a smaller bathing suit, more makeup, you can hit the triple digits next to the little blue heart underneath your photo. Maybe you can make other girls envy you. Maybe you can make that guy from ENC 3311 want you. Maybe you can feel some redeeming satisfaction from the notion that you must be something if you gain enough likes. Why do we focus so much on creating the perfect photo for likes, a photo that half the time isn't even a real representation of ourselves or of our lives, instead of posting natural photos out of authenticity that we want to share, regardless of who all likes it within the first hour? Why do we feel that our popularity, our face value, comes from the recognition we garner from pixels we posted on a screen, instead of realizing that our value comes from the people we represent ourselves as every day in the real world, our kindness, our empathy, a smile to a passing stranger, all things that can't be liked, but are much more valuable than any photo. Sitting in the library, cramming, staring, the words on the page blurring before your eyes from lack of sleep, trying to fill your mind with the facts and figures on the page in front of you for the exam you have in 2 days. Doing well on that exam is crucial to the sustenance of your GPA, but the fraternity party being held that night is calling your name, and you would rather die than be left sitting there with FOMO, and you already know you're going regardless of how little you have studied. Why do we put such an emphasis on being facey, on getting drunk and making sure we have a name known within our community, rather than putting an emphasis on making the grades we need to get that job, that internship, that acceptance to grad school we so desperately need in order to make a real name for ourselves? Why do we think our lack of attendance at one party will hinder our social life, when in reality, your lack of attendance at your 9 a.m. the next morning will be much more detrimental? During this modern time, filled with sex and technology, alcohol and drugs, Instagram models and shady subtweets, it's easy to begin to doubt yourself, to feel less than good enough, to feel not smart enough, to lose hindsight of what is actually truly important. But always remember that you are more than good enough, that you have so much to offer this world, that you have so much love to give, that you are more than a certain number of likes, more than your body count, more than what the mean girl or asshole said about you behind your back. You are a human being, and that alone is enough to make you beautiful and important.